Good morning, guys. Today we're working on the drift car. So last week when I was driving this car, I scraped a lot in this thing because the exhaust is too low. And usually it's just the exhaust that gets some scratches in it. I don't really care. But this time I broke something else. So on this transmission there is a sensor on the side that basically activates the reverse lights when you put the transmission into reverse. And the cable, well, they run along somewhere there, and I snapped that cable. So by scraping, snapped the cable, and I could hear like the cable spin against the drive shaft. I figured it isn't gonna be really an issue. I'm just gonna keep driving and it'll solve itself, or when I get home. But then suddenly it was like a snap. I didn't hear anything anymore. I thought it was fixed. But then I came home and I saw the car was leaking quite a lot of oil. So I went looking under the car, and basically what happened is the cable, so the copper wire basically, spinned in between the gearbox flange and the gearbox. And by doing that, it actually destroyed the oil seal on the back of the gearbox. So that's quite a bummer, since it's drifting in 4 days. But I already got the part. I ordered it last Friday, we're Monday now. And I'm basically gonna show you how to fix the rear oil seal on a gearbox when it's in the car. We're gonna start off by putting the car on jack stands and on all four corners. So the reason for that is, well, it's the easiest to work that way because you have the most space, but also I don't just want to put the front in the air, because then maybe the oil from the gearbox will all go to the back, and it may seep out of the hole that we're trying to put a new seal in. So we obviously don't want that. I'm gonna take you guys with me under the car right now, and I'm gonna show you the problem. Okay, so we have our gearbox, our drive shaft, our exhaust. As you can see, it's all quite greasy. I already went over it with some brake cleaner and stuff, but still. And so the problem is right there. So where the flange meet the gearbox. You can't really see it right now, but if you take a closer look at the flange, it's all very oily. So what we're gonna have to do is disconnect the drive shaft and the guibo here, and basically then slide it back and out of the way so that we have access to the flange. Then remove the big nut that holds the flange to the gearbox, and then take that flange off. But the way I'm going to remove the drive shaft is I'm gonna loosen it first here. So I'm gonna leave the guibo on the drive shaft and remove just these 3 bolts that hold the guibo to the flange. Loosen these nuts so that the drive shaft can slide back. As you can see here, there's a section that can slide. The drive shaft is loose from the gearbox, but as you can see, it's quite in the way here. So what I think I'm going to do is over here, I'm gonna mark it, and then I'm just going to pull the front section out of the rear section. So I'm first going to mark the 2 parts because they are balanced together, and they basically have to go back together in the same direction. Okay, we've come to the part of the job that we have to remove the nut now, so on the flange. And for this you need, well, not exactly specific tools, but still tools that not everybody has at home, including me. So luckily I know the guy from the local garage quite well, and from time to time I can like lend some tools from him. So this is what you're gonna need: a big 36mm socket and a jaw puller, a pulley puller, whatever you wanna call it. I have ordered like a couple of these, but they haven't arrived yet. So this is the one I got from him. I'm a bit afraid that it's going to be a little bit too large or too wide, as you can see, to fit in a transmission tunnel. But we will see. So first, this socket, nice and long one. I hope I can get it loose with this thing. And if not, we're gonna put a wrench on it, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so it took a couple tries, but I got the nut off by using the gun, and so now the flange has to come off. So I'm gonna try Oh no, I'm just immediately gonna use the puller. I'm not gonna lose more time. And then we should have access to the sealing to the oil seal. Oh yeah, so I removed the drive shaft, the front half after all. And in order to do that without dropping the exhaust, I had to take the transmission brace off. But yeah, a lot more space now and a lot easier to work. And tada! The pulley is off. As you can see, that red and green tape, that's residue that was on the wires. At first glance, I can't see all the way around, but the seal actually doesn't look damaged. But as I said, I can't see it completely. So yeah, I'm here now. I'm gonna pull it out anyway and install the new one. It would be stupid not to. And then here is the flange that comes off. As you can see, some more residue. So I think it also could be that it wasn't damaged, but there was just some wire stuck between that made an opening and made it leak. But as I said before, I'm not gonna take the risk. I'm just gonna change it out. Now it's time to take the seal out. There exist special tools for this. I don't have them. So another way you can do this is basically just drill a hole in the old seal, quite close to the edge. So you drill into the metal that is in there. Then you stick a nut, no, not a nut, you stick a bolt or a screw in there. And then you use that screw as leverage to basically jank the seal out. I'll show you how it's done. I only just realized that the camera died while I was changing the seal. So the old seal is out. It was a little bit of a hassle since it's a really thin one. And so it's difficult to drill it. And I actually made a big mistake. And that is while drilling, I drilled a little bit into the housing of the gearbox. That's basically the worst thing you can do. Because if it's too deep or too far, then it's just going to leak oil out there. So I'm a bit angry at myself. I still think it's manageable. So just to be sure, in the little groove, I'm going to add some extra sealant. And then I just have to see that I press in the new seal far enough, and I think we'll be good. So yeah, this is the new seal. As you can see on the edge there, I added some sealant just to be sure. And then now we're gonna press the new one in. So you basically want to start it by hand, just so it's in. And then you grab a socket or something that you can, well, tap it in evenly. And yeah, this is from now on, everything should be easy. This video that you really want to see, so that's quite unfortunate, but I'm going to try and explain to you how exactly that I've done it. So basically, as I said, the screw method, you basically just screw a screw in the hole that you made in the seal, and then you use like pliers or something as leverage to pry the seal out. If it doesn't come out immediately, you basically have to make more holes all over the seal, so in 3 or 4 spaces, and that way it might come out evenly. Now, that being said, I assume that you will be able to get it out, and then the next step is installing the new one. You want to really clean out the hole where the old seal comes out of. So that way you don't put any contaminations in between there. And I actually struggled with this part quite a lot. So instead of, as I said in the video, just easily tap it in, it didn't just easily tap in. Since I was lying under the car at an awkward angle, it was hard to keep a straight angle. And I really didn't succeed in getting the seal in. And what I ended up doing in the end is just using the flange to drive the seal in. So I put the seal in place with my hand, and then I tapped the seal in with the flange. This actually worked perfectly because with the flange it's super easy to tap the seal in nice and straight and all the way around. So that's basically probably the easiest way to go about this. So I would advise you guys to maybe do it like this also. Okay, now we're gonna move on to actually just putting this flange back and
back into place.
And it's torqued down. You need to torque it down in 2 steps. First at 190 Newton meters, then you have to loosen it and then retighten it at 120. I think the 190 is to basically put the flange in the place that it needs to be, and then just on 120. I used a bolt, driveshaft bolt, to lock the flange using the gearbox case, and yeah, that works without a problem. So now I'm just going to put back the driveshaft, and yeah, we're done here. Okay guys, that's the car back together, and just quickly went over all the fluids, all that stuff, topped up some of them, and well, other than that, I guess we're ready for drifting. I did buy another set of wheels yesterday. These are like the Rondel 0021s. They're really concave, 17 inches. For really cheap, because one of the 4 has a crack in it that needs welding. But I'm gonna take them all 4 anyway. They have well, good drift spares. That's the reason I bought them, for drift spares. Yeah, I'll show you how they look on the car on Thursday. There's one more thing I forgot to mention. A mate of mine noticed when he was driving behind me that when I take a hard left turn, that there's gas coming out of the tank and splashing out the side. So I had a look, and you see those 3 vent lines, they were all completely cracked and loose. So the ventilation holes from the tank itself are actually open. And so it was sometimes fuel was coming out of those holes. Luckily they were a bit, well, I had some length in them left. So I cut the bad piece off and then just put them back on. And hopefully that solves the issue, because I don't think people are going to be very happy when I'm splashing fuel all around. So thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next one. Peace. That's not peace.